Today's lesson involves learning how to calculate thermal energy. We will be using the equation Q equals M parentheses TF minus TI parentheses C. Listen further for instructions. In order to use the calculating thermal energy equation to solve for thermal energy, it's important to understand what each of the variables stand for. So let's start out with Q. Q stands for change in thermal energy and is measured in joules. To represent joules, you would write capital J. M stands for mass and is measured in kilograms, which is represented by the symbol lowercase kg. TF stands for final temperature and is measured in Fahrenheit or Celsius. TI stands for initial temperature and is measured in Fahrenheit, but usually Celsius. C stands for specific heat and is measured in joules per kilogram times Celsius. Now, do note that sometimes in thermal energy problems, TF minus TI is already solved in the problem. It may refer to this as the change in thermal energy is such and such. So again, the equation that we're going to be using today to walk through a sample problem is Q equals M parentheses TF minus TI parentheses C. Now let's try a sample calculating thermal energy problem. The question reads, find the mass of a piece of copper when 8,000 joules of heat are applied, causing a 45 degrees Celsius increase in temperature. Specific heat, or C, of copper is 0.38452 joules per gram times Celsius. Now the first thing that we need to do is find out what is known. So to the side of your paper, you may want to list the variables like so. Q equals 8,000 joules. We know this from the problem. We know that we need to find the mass because of the word find the mass, so we'll put a question mark there. TF equals TI equals are known in the problem, but in this particular problem it solves TF minus TI for us, saying causing a 45 degrees Celsius increase in the temperature. Then of course C, or specific heat, is given in the problem as 0.38452. Again, you can see how TF minus TI has already been subtracted for us, so we will not have to subtract here. Now let's look back at the equation. Now that we have found out what is known, in the problem Q equals M, TF minus TI times C, we can now insert our knowns in this problem to solve it. So let's start. First of all, we've inserted our knowns here. 8,000 equals M, 45 times 0.38452. Now, here is where we need to start following the order of operations. Most of you have heard of "Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally." So we're going to multiply 45 times 0.38452. Then we're going to multiply those two together to get 8,000 equals M times 17.303. We need to get M by itself. So since M is multiplied by